And now to the Merion Cricket Club outside Philadelphia with a patch of grass big enough to be seen from an altitude of 30 miles. This club hosts everything from sports as old as cricket to as young as pickleball and as esoteric as croquet. This weekend, they're hosts to the United States Croquet Association Collegiate National Golf Croquet Championships. Participating teams are two-time defending national champion Oklahoma Wesleyan, St. John's, Texas A&M, and the Naval Academy. Tournament director was Micah Beck, a scratch player who's a St. John's alum. Tournament manager was Whitney Thain, who I think is the athletic director at Merion. Appreciate her efforts. Brian Hovis is on one of the video cameras and is doing the drone work. And Paul Neubecker is videoing games as well. We needed 2 cameras for this one because they packed a lot of action into a couple of days. Thanks as always to our channel sponsor, Chris Barley. For this event, Steve Fisher, the coach of the Oklahoma Wesleyan team, is the special sponsor. And as always, the United States Croquet Association, your source of everything croquet in this country. And Don Oakley's Croquet Store, supplying the equipment needs of beginners, world champions, and everybody in between.
We're just doing practice shots.
We'll kick it off with block play. Texas A&M, Alex Worley playing blue, Austin Ratclff playing black. Against Oklahoma Wesleyan University, Asher Scantlin playing red and Luca Nettleton playing yellow. I don't have any info on the 3 guys because the only one with a croquet history here is Alex Worley, as you can tell from her jacket. She and Stanley Fisher played on the Oklahoma Wesleyan team that was at the Midwest Regional in Tulsa in Labor Day 2022. From there, they were recruited for the under-21 team to go to New Zealand for the under-21 Worlds, along with Blake Fields, who I think was 15 at the time and was ranked 5th in the world under-21s. I think they were both playing with split grips then and bending over quite a bit. So the USCA took them down to Sarasota, where Jeff Sue, Mike Albert, and I think the last 2 world champions, Matthew Essick and Ben Rothman, revamped their swings. And then they went on to New Zealand to represent their country admirably in the Worlds, especially for 2 kids with no international experience at all. They were defending national champions, of course. Alex is subsequently transferred to Texas A&M, introduced croquet, and brought their very first team to the national championships. We're looking forward to many visits in the future. Sooner or later, they'll be bringing Reveille with them. Looks like the practice paid off. Depending on how much respect you have for the shooter of blue, red and yellow should try to clear blue, probably. These balls can start anywhere within the boundaries, no more than a yard from that yellow flag. Some players put it on the south boundary to his left, just to marginally improve the angle for setting up at hoop one. She's done this before. So it's red to shoot. How does he decide what to do? Try SHIP, an acronym that Ben Rothman, Stephen Morgan, and now Matthew Essick are using in their teaching. If you have a hoop shot, take it within reason. If you don't, but the ball who plays next does, then clear it away, either a long way or to a wired position. If you can't clear it, then interfere with it. Either block it or cuddle up to it so it can't do anything. Yes, that is a croquet term. If none of those is the case, then either put your striker or your partner ball in position to score the hoop on their next turn. Not much doubt on this one. The team they were double banking with started on the northeast corner, so they waited 8 or 9 minutes for that group to get through hoop one. And they didn't forget. Red scored hoop two, so it's black to play.
He said power fault.
Awesome setup by yellow. And now they'd like to set up with their first ball blue and clear with their second ball black. But Alex has an experienced team and looks like she thinks they should both take a shot at yellow. Set up first and clear second has so many exceptions that it sometimes hardly qualifies as a rule anyway.
at my metaphysics notes to take notes.
No really good choices for black here. He could mess with red either directly or indirectly, but yellow plays next, and yellow is going to advance red as near hoop 4 as possible, and red skips a turn that way. So I think he's going to try to clear yellow to prevent that.
I missed. Not by that much, but I did miss.
It's a little hard to see, but that was a pretty good shot because black is now, I think, impeding red's ability to get down court a long way. Jawsing the striker ball in odd-numbered hoops is a useful tactic because the next hoop is straight away and you can set up for it on the hoop shot. And this academic environment reminds me I need to petition the OED to do an entry that includes jaws and jawsing as verb and gerund forms, because they've been in the English literature at least since 1985, when Keith Wiley used them repeatedly in expert croquet tactics. And now you can see a little more clearly that black did prevent red from setting up at hoop 4 when he scored hoop 3.
we're good.
Blocking is way more successful when it's done from an angle like this than at 90 degrees to the path between the two balls. Great shot. Now he has to try to clear yellow by bombarding it with red. Red will stop dead in its tracks, but then blue can take care of red. I can't tell whether there's room for black to score an in-off, glancing off red and making hoop 6. Maybe it's time for a jump shot. They're not doing a lot of jump shots, maybe because the ground's a little soft. I think the courts are a little slow. I'm trying to find out what the official speed was. The striking period starts when you take your stance. So she's in the striking period. And first time she hits this ball, that's her stroke. So watch it this time. Just barely. Opponent gets to decide whether the ball stays or goes back, but since it didn't move, it's irrelevant. Either way, her turn is over. Another way, besides the SHIP acronym for red to decide what to do, is ask questions. Do I have a hoop shot? No. Does black have a hoop shot? No, so then you don't have to clear it or interfere with it. Can I help my partner? Not really. So, set up. Preferably wired from opponent balls. Now they're for hoop 7, but that's hoop 4 for the other double banking game, so they're going to play the waiting game again. It's hard to see black, but that's what red's trying to clear. And unless he nicked black, he's offsides. Asking which penalty spot the opponent wants the offside red ball to go to. Pretty obvious. Austin's aiming technique is all his own. I would guess that as he gets better, he'll do more standard stalking from a few feet back and swinging over the ball a bit. Since he's using a Solomon grip, looking at Ben Rothman's style might help. But who knows? Maybe he'll perfect his method and it will become eponymous. This makes sense. They're trying to put yellow where it's wired from blue because red is in blue's backswing path, but he's got a hoop shot. Why not just take it? You could argue that red should leave blue right there because it's hampered on its way to hoop 9 and yellow shoots before blue. So A&M needs to run the table. It's been done before. So that's it. Oklahoma Wesleyan, Scantlin, and Nettleton take Texas A&M, Worley, and Ratclff 7-2. So while the crowd mills around, give us a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. There's a lot more to come from Merion. Thanks as always to our sponsors, Chris Barley. For this event, special sponsorship from Steve Fisher, the coach of the Oklahoma Wesleyan team. They're chatting with his troops. And of course the USCA, your source for all things croquet in the USA, and Don Oakley in the Croquet store, supplying the equipment needs of beginners to world champions and all the rest of us in between. There was an American Rules division, but St. John's was the only entry, so they beat up on each other for that. Be nice to see all these other kids learning American Rules and AC as well, so they can compete internationally, not just in golf croquet. And that deadness board she's holding is unique to American Rules 6-wicket croquet.